Alright, so I've got 3 sets of targets set up. I'm going to be shooting this Winchester Model 94. It's chambered in 30-30, which those rounds have similar ballistics to a 7.62 by 39. This was a really cool rifle. It was my grandpa's. I think that might be similar to a lot of people on YouTube. From what I've seen, you want to load the bullets to where the trapdoor doesn't close. You just want to get them down in there. Take your next round. Go ahead and push the next one in to the same point. These hold 6 in their magazine, then 1 in the chamber. This particular gun was built in 1952, which makes it especially cool to me. No safeties on this gun, just a simple half cock with your hammer, and then go ahead and bring that all the way back. It's single action only. So what I'm going to do here is I've got 3 sets of targets set up. One of them is at 100 yards. The one off to the side is probably about 150 to 160, and then the far ones are exactly 100 yards farther than the front one. So we're looking at a 200-yard shot, but with these 30-30s, they don't fly real far. It's only got iron sights, and it's my grandpa's gun built in 1952, so I'm excited to see how this thing shoots. So let's go ahead and do it. So, typical to my other videos, I'm going to be shooting prone out of the bed of my truck. I'm using a sandbag here that a local guy makes. He is known as the Vest Guy. He has a website. Be sure to check him out. These are camera bags, but can also be used as shooting bags, and you can fill them with whatever materials you want. Those are really awesome. And then I just used a metal ammo can to get it propped up to the right height. So let's take a look at this 30-30. I'm excited. These are steel targets, so you should be able to hear them ring. The only downside to shooting these things prone is that the brass ejects straight out the top. Oh yeah, that got that plate swinging. Oh yeah, this rifle's a shooter. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Those were all at the 100-yard mark. Let's go ahead and try for the 200. Not too bad for a gun that was made in 1952. This is a look at the 100-yard target and the 150-yard plate. I've got 3 rounds loaded up. Let's see if we can take out these 100-yard plates, 1 shot each. These 30-30s kick pretty good for what they do. From what I've heard, this cartridge has killed more deer in the United States than any other. That small middle plate's a tricky one. The actions on these guns are really cool. The designer was John Browning. He helped invent the 1911 and the Browning automatic rifle, which is one of the first fully auto rifles. The man knew how to design some weapons that are still in use. Let's load up another 3 rounds. Gotta love that leather action. So we'll go for the bigger plate this time. Hit. 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 Man, this thing really kicks hard. Not used to these. Here you're looking at the 200-yard target. The 100 is in the right side of the frame. There's my 200-yard plates. This gun does fly right of where I'm aiming. That one was the center target. That was a miss. Another miss. Well, I got 1 out of 3 on I'm not the most experienced with this gun, so not too bad for me. Okay, I have come to the end of my 20 round box of ammo here. So I'm going to load up my last 4 and see if I can get anything standing up. I think I'm going to go for that 150 yard big steel plate. This thing's awesome. I love this side loading gate. And of course, who doesn't love this part? Knock that plate off. That was the 100 yard plate. Couldn't connect that 150 yard plate, but sure was a good time shooting this 1894. And it's a really cool gun. My grandpa bought it new, and he was in high school when he did, 1952. This is pre-64, which is supposed to be desirable for these guns. The stock was refinished by my father, and I believe that was when he was in high school. My grandpa did take this out in the woods, chasing after deer, and he marred up his stock a little bit, had some dents in it. My dad was able to pull those out and refinish it, so a lot of sentimental value here. It's a really pretty gun, it's in great shape. It's got just the right amount of patina on it. You can tell that it's been used, but it hasn't been abused. Here's a close look at the 100 yard targets. Like I had mentioned, that this 30-30 knocked this plate off. This thing's got some significant heft to it. But yeah, 3-shot impacts. I had freshly repainted this before setting it up. Now it's all covered in weeds. Not too bad. That thing's knocking it pretty damn hard to knock this plate off. This thing's about 3/8 thick, and it's a high strength steel. Shooting at this plate with the 30-30, it was about 150 yards away. 2 grouped real close to each other. That's good accuracy with that gun. 1 dropped down. I'm using iron sights. I'm not the best with iron sights. I'll go ahead and tell you that. I was actually aiming on the left side of this plate because I knew it was impacting right. Those barely were getting on that plate, but excited to see how close those grouped. That's pretty impressive for this old gun.